What if I tell you that the key to success is mastering your next 5 moves? Stick around while I show you how Patrick Bet-David's book, Your Next 5 Moves, will change your life and your business. My name is Blessing Ikejemba, and I'm a proud life insurance broker. Today, I'll be reviewing with you PBD's book, Your Next 5 Moves. Patrick Bet-David is an author. He's written multiple books. Amongst his first book I read was 25 Laws of Doing the Impossible. If you haven't read it, go get it. And then The Next Perfect Storm. That was another book that really spoke to me. And then I read this book that we're talking about today, Your Next 5 Moves. And after this, there's another one that is Choose Your Enemies Wisely. It's addictive, right? If someone is a good writer, you read one book, you're going to read the next one, and the next one, and the next one, right? But he's an immigrant. You can look him up. Actually, if you search Patrick Bet-David, you will see a lot of info for yourself. You can look him up on Instagram, has a YouTube channel, Valuetainment. He does a PBD podcast. But today, we're going to be focusing on his book, Your Next 5 Moves. For some of you that you're running your own business, or you're a C-suite executive, or you're just a manager in a place, or a worker, but you're looking to find out what's the next. What are some things you need to master to get to the next level? This is for you. Remember to like, share, and comment. Your Next 5 Moves actually talks about, regardless of where you find yourself in life, it could be a housewife, it could be a homemaker, it could be a CEO, it could be whatever you do. It could be a doctor that runs your own show, right? Your next 5 moves is, what are the next things? What's next for you? What are the next strategies that you'll have that's going to take you from where you are right now to the next level? So what next 5 moves are going to make you the best mom? What next 5 moves are going to make you the best life insurance broker? So that's really the summary of what this book is, and we're going to delve more into it. This book, Your Next 5 Moves, it's obviously divided into 5 parts. And the very first part we're going to be delving into is knowing yourself. When you think about knowing yourself, what comes to mind? The first thing I'm thinking about is, who do you want to be? A lot of us, we just exist. We don't think of, what's my purpose on earth? Why am I here? Why did God really create me? Why didn't He create an animal or a dog or an ant? Why did He create me who I am? So knowing yourself starts with mastering yourself, knowing the best product, which is really you. When we put you down here right now, how do you differ from the other person? For example, knowing myself, I know the kind of things that would trigger me, the kind of things that would drive me, the kind of things that, regardless of what people say, I don't care. So let's talk about knowing yourself, knowing me. I run a business. I have a team. I have people that are going to tell you they will do this, but they never will do. But I also have some people that when they tell you, I'll do ABC, you can take it to the bank, because that's what their word is, their bond. Now, knowing myself is understanding what fights to pick. Like, which of these people would I stress about? Let's say someone, for example, I know that they just tell me something and they don't do it. I don't necessarily have to antagonize about it, or when they tell me something next time, I say, oh no, I absolutely know you won't do it, because people could change, right? But I also know myself that, okay, I want this result. Therefore, if this team member that I know does not typically deliver tells me, oh, I'm going to do it, I'm still also going to have a backup. In fact, I'm going to go do it like he's not going to be doing it. Because guess what? At the end of the day, they wouldn't do it. But because I know myself that I can't handle that, not being able to come through with my word, I've done it. Let's say, for example, we started this month and we say, hey, we're going to go and help 20 families. I sat with 5 of my team members, and this one said, oh, I'm going to help 3. This one says, I'm going to help 4. This one says, I'm going to help 5. This other one says, oh, I'm going to help 10. But the person that says 10 is the person that doesn't ever come through. What I'm going to think of, okay, this person says 3, so they're going to do 80% of 3. They're going to do 2. This other person is going to do 80% of 4, or they're going to do 3. You get the idea? So I'm calculating how many they're going to do. I make up my mind, I'm going to go ahead and do X, Y, Z. Let's say when I calculated what they will do, what they said they will do, it comes to 20 clients. But I also know they're probably going to do 50% of that. I know I'm going to go pick up 10 clients by myself and lead from the front. That way, if they don't come through with what they say they are going to do, we still kept our word. Do you understand? So knowing yourself in business, for example, means knowing what areas you can handle dropping the ball on, and what areas you can that you're absolutely no dropping ball. That also is going to help you to be able to go with people, because knowing yourself very well, you already know what you expect from other people, and other people know what they expect from you. That way you're able to maintain a better business relationship. So if you are obviously in a relationship, like in a friendship relationship, in a family relationship, mother-daughter or father-son relationship, knowing yourself knows what triggers you, what does your child does that makes you angry, that makes you want to what does someone do to you that makes you want to run through the walls and go win in the highest level for them? Now put yourself in those positions that enhances your wins. Remove yourself as much as possible from those positions that's gonna drag you down and gonna make you not reach your potential. So that's how I look at knowing yourself. Your second move is think strategically. Knowing how to think strategically is going to save you in a lot of ways, be it in a relationship, be it in a family, be it in business, be it at work. Thinking strategically is really going to help you dodge the bullets. Let's say I'm going to use my platform as an example. So I'm a life insurance broker. Obviously, I don't only teach life insurance, right? I teach people financial services, retirement plans, children college funds. Let's say I'm sitting with a client or I'm going to meet a client. Thinking strategically means I'm going to meet this high net worth client. I know that this guy is well learned. I know that they must have spoken to 1,001 other people, but they're meeting with me. So that means they still have needs. I want to study this person ahead of time. I want to look at their website, look at his business model. What does it really do? Okay. Find one or two things that they like or they don't like. Keep away from things they don't like, right? And then do more of what they like. So thinking strategically is, even though we've scheduled this appointment, I've looked up all these things, I know that we said, okay, we're meeting on Saturday at 5 p.m., for instance. Thinking strategically is speaking to his assistant, for instance. I say, hey, I'm meeting ABC at 5 p.m. today. Actually, the first thing, obviously, is to be a best friend to the assistant, right? Because their assistants are hired to be gatekeepers. You want to know that. So for some of you, you want to do this huge business with someone, but you're not nice to the assistant. You're not going to get anywhere, trust me, okay? So thinking strategically is being on the side of your assistant, know what are some things that trigger him that are not written anywhere. What are his preferences? What is his favorite restaurant? What if you get him a gift card from that favorite restaurant? And then once you finish, it's not about the gift card. He can afford that gift card, but the fact that you found out and you thought about that favorite restaurant, that's thinking strategically. Because when he lays everybody's offer on the table and he's looking at it, he's going to remember some of the words you guys said, but he's most probably going to remember his favorite restaurant that you thought ahead of time. It's so simple, but it's so strategic. And these are some things that are actually going to put you ahead of the other time. In business relationships, in personal relationships, right? It's so important to think strategically, think ahead of time, and take moves to mitigate certain things that's going to hinder your growth and give yourself better odds. It's just like you're playing the game of chess. I happen to like chess. In the game of chess, you're not just thinking your move that you're just going to make right now. What pawn am I going to move on the board? If I move this pawn, what will my opponent do? If you think like that, you're always going to be ahead of your game. So that's what I think about thinking strategically. Comment below. Let's know how thinking strategically has helped you in a business deal or in a relationship before. Maybe a relationship between you and your spouse, between you and your parents, your kids, or in a business dealing, or even at work. How has thinking strategically helped you, or what's your experience? drop your comment below. The next strategy is to start scaling your business. A lot of people start a business, their vision is just to stay mom and pop store. But think about business like whenever I sit with somebody and interviewing them to bring them on board as the next recruit in my base, because obviously I'm building a base, right? I'm recruiting people, licensing them with the state, helping them build their own agency. So whenever I'm sitting with someone, one of my questions is always, what's your goal? Sum me your like, what's your biggest dream? I want to see where this person is thinking. Let's say you tell me you're a photographer. What's your goal with your photography? Some people be like, well, just help someone or two, one or two people run an event during the week. But what if you could actually scale your photography business so big that it becomes a franchise? How did you think McDonald's started? How did you think KFC started? How do you think Apple started? In someone's garage. So mastering to scale your business is thinking the bigger picture, thinking outside the box. So you can go buy a McDonald's franchise today. You don't know how to make burger. You have never done fries before. But because they already have a system, you can go and duplicate that. That's one thing I found in PHP, by the way. One of the things. There's a system. The system is there already. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. So when I got here, I didn't know anything about money. But I saw so many people that are earning $250,000, $500,000, $1 million, 750,000. And I told myself the system here can produce that. If I'm able to follow the system and do what these people are doing, I'm going to reproduce exactly the result they're getting. I thought back in my nursing job, even my director of nursing wasn't earning more than 130,000. And being as a regular nurse, I'm earning already 110. So I know there's no much scaling there. What did I say is the major thing you're looking at when you're looking at scaling a business? Look for systems. If you can have a system that is developed so well that people can just plug in and play, it creates duplication. And whenever there's duplication, you can now duplicate yourself to so many places. That's how you become stinkingly rich, because you're able now to literally quadruple, like you multiply yourself into so many places. So again, we're talking about scaling. To scale, find a system that works or build a system and then duplicate yourself using the system. We have a saying here that it's not what works, it's what duplicates. Because what works will help me. I could use my skills, my oratorship, or just my personality, build 10, 20 people. But if I want to build an army, if I want to build a team of 1,000 people, 5,000, 20,000, 100,000 people, there's no way I'm going to do that based on just my personality. I have to put a system in place so that each person can come, learn that system, duplicate that system, and those people get to duplicate the system. That's the simplest tool of scaling. Your next move is master decision making. If you could master decision making, your life will be so simple. Know when to say yes and when to say no. Know when to what fights to pick and what fights not to pick. Know who to bring in your circle and who to not bring in your circle. So once you master decision making, it helps you with your time management. It helps you with every other thing we're talking about. Because every single thing we do is about decision. In my business, we say that you're one decision away from explosion. And I believe it's like that in every business. Okay. So what is that one thing that when you do it, it helps every other thing to go right? Focus on doing that. For example, let's say you have a friend that's coming back from flying into Los Angeles from Georgia. Oh my God, it's your best friend. You guys haven't seen since high school. And they're flying in. You're going to be going to dinner with this friend. There are two ways you can go about it. You can clear your schedule, leave everything you're doing for the day, go wait for them at the airport, pick them up from the airport, drive 2 hours to go home, have time with your friend. Or you can send a ride. You can send your friend a ride. You save yourself 2 hours to the airport, 2 hours back. That's 4 hours of time that you could use to do other things. And then when your friend gets here, you guys get to hang out and you enjoy the time. Rather than you go spend that extra 4 hours, now you left so many things undone and you're literally despising your friend sitting in front of him or eating that dinner because you didn't know how to say no. Be honest with yourself and, and everybody around you. Say no, but you're not really saying no. What are other options? I'm sending you a ride. Let's meet at dinner at 7. That way, you're being your authentic self. Mastering the art of decision making helps you to be your authentic self. Who take you for who you are, okay? Everybody that knows me know I don't know how to be politically correct. Simple, okay? If you say no, I tell you a no. The earlier I tell you a no, the quicker you get it, the quicker we're moving on. If you say yes, I tell you a yes. And when I give a yes, I want to back it up because my word is my bond. So mastering the art of decision making is knowing when to say no, knowing when to say yes, knowing the difference, sticking to your word, doing those things that are going to make a difference in your business first. Mastering the art of decision making also includes making tough calls, just sticking to it. I remember last year we were running million point based shop. So my first year as a broker, we run a million point based shop. Second year, we ran a million point based shop. So third year, we were quite behind running million point based shop. And it was like, there's no way I'm gonna like just pull out 180,000 points from my pocket and just make it happen. But the team is depending on it. Everybody is depending on that million point based shop to get to the number that we wanted to get to as a company for the year. Remember, nobody is forcing me to do it, but it's my call. It's a tough call that I had to make. So I rallied the team. I said, hey guys, we have to do this. 90% of the people didn't believe, but there's the other 10% that always will believe with you. That's enough. So the moment we get on it and we're going through it, the other people that didn't believe, it started catching up with them and we started going and going. Guys, we didn't literally spend Christmas. Like I told them, okay, Christmas is one day, not a week, okay? It's a Christmas day, not a Christmas week. And on 31st night, we were wrapping it up. We probably needed like 30,000 points to go. And guess what? We pulled it off. That's the tough decision that I had to make beginning of the month of December to say, okay, if it takes we not even spending Christmas, we're going to do it because we're going to come through with this. Again, that's the art of decision making. Sometimes we dilly-dally in our decisions a lot. And because we're dilly-dallying, the people around us don't even know what is expected. And because they don't know what's expected, they don't know what we expect from them. And we might be there just mad with them and thinking they are going to just be these magicians that know what we're asking. So again, mastering the art of decision making is deciding on what, if you're leading a team, deciding on what the team has to do and from the front and taking whatever comes out of it. If it comes good, hey, it's a team win. If it comes bad, it's my loss. That's part of the art of being a leader, by the way. So you never want to be that person that you make a decision and because it backfired, you're going to point at your team. You didn't come through. No. It is if we didn't make it, I take responsibility. If we make it, give it up to the team. That's pretty much part of getting in the trenches. This leads me to your last move, building the right team. In life, team is everything. I like to say when you spell the word team, there's no I in team. So that's the first thing you want to learn when it comes to building a team. You cannot do it alone. There's a reason why God created Adam and added Eve to it, right? There's a reason why every single animal has male and female. There's a reason why one tree does not make a forest. So as human beings, we cannot do it alone. If you're looking to really scale whatever you're doing to get to the next level, you need the right team around you. When it comes to the right team, there are things you're looking at. Are you looking at the people around you who are actually your team? It's yourself. There are people ahead of you that are where you want to go. That are going to be your mentors and your coaches. Those are part of your team. Then there are people under that you're teaching to, you're duplicating yourself into to get to the next level. That's a team. And then you have the support staff. So you're an entrepreneur, but there's the other entrepreneurs, your staff. The people that, like your assistant, your scheduler, the person that's your coordinator, your licensing coordinator, person that's your case manager, those people, How about your lawyer? How about an accountant? How about somebody that does your books? How about, so even if you have kids, your babysitter, those are part of your team. Because if you don't handle those areas, you're not going to be successful in business, unfortunately. How about having someone, for example, your housekeeper? Would you spend your $1,000 an hour time and use it to go clean house, which is a $10 an hour job or $20 an hour job? Or would you rather hire someone, pay them the $20 an hour, and release that time to be able to focus on leadership and other things? So when it comes to building a strong team, I think it's the backbone of every success. So your move, whatever it is that you're doing, is going to include the right team. Let's say you're a stay-at-home mom, for example. Your team could be your neighbor their kids are going to the same school as yours. So sometimes, guess what? They could babysit your kids so you can have a wonderful evening with your husband, so that another day you could babysit their own kids so they can go have their evening, right? Maybe your team could be Miss ABC's 15-year-old daughter who just graduated high school or who's about going into high school, that you could hire to look after the kids while you go to the grocery yourself and have your sanity instead of hanging the kids around you each time. So regardless of where is it that you find yourself, obviously if you run a company or you're a C-suite executive, you already know you need a team. I cannot do my business alone. I do need a team. I do not like submitting policies, okay? I hate paperwork. So if you already know you can't stand paperwork, hire someone else to do it, because that's going to hinder you. So you want to also, when you're talking about building a team, hire what you're not. Let's say you're this technical person, you're so, some of us, oh my God, if they write a T and it's not well crossed to a certain level, it's not a T. Some of us are technical to the T. But then if you're technical, then hire the people that are more relationship oriented. If not, your team is going to just be like a firehouse, right? Build culture, build the culture that you want, because that's also part of hiring, having the right team. What's the culture you want in your environment? I remember one time when we went to a PHP home office, it's so crazy. They had, they used this kind of creative office, so the ceiling has balloons hanging. They didn't hang the balloons because we're coming, okay? And then they had a playroom, like ping pong table inside our headquarters. I'm like, guys, I thought you guys are supposed to be here processing life insurance policies and applications. They're like, yeah, we do that, but we also have fun. So that tells me when we open our office here, we have to have a place for the kids. The kids love coming to here. So when the mom doesn't want to come, the kids are going to be, Mommy, why are we going to the office again? You know why? Because they love the environment. So getting the right team takes into account the right environment, the people you surround yourself about. Are they people of integrity? Obviously, that's probably something else we're going to talk about in a future video about maybe when you're hiring, what are the things you're looking at to hire someone. But when it comes to what we're talking about, your next move, your final move is to cap everything we talked about already. You need the right team to take you to the next level. Again, remember to drop your comment below here. Get this across to so many people. Really help us share our videos so that a lot more people will get this info. Obviously, I read the entire book. I took notes from different sections of it to actually master more and improve my results more and get to the next level. But one of the strategies or one of the moves that I really paid keen attention was the one that has to do with growing through system. So maxing out, scaling, because I am this person that I'm so personality driven in so many things I do. I'm a go-go. I cannot handle when people are dragging their foot. I cannot understand why someone has to wait for me to call them to come to training, things like that. But when I read this book, just thinking about how to scale my business, system is something that hit me, because one day Patrick called me and he said, listen, you're so good at what you do. If you duplicate yourself just into 4 or 5 people, you'll make $3 million a year. I'm like, wow, that makes sense. So that is when I also read this book and I saw the concept of following a system to run a duplicatable business. That's something I bought into. So this book obviously came out in 2020. And in 2020, when I read it, I instituted systems that really made me to go from, I was probably making $65,000 in 2019, and I ended 2020 with $275,000. And I've never dropped less than that. So system, running something that's duplicatable. Another brother of system is simplicity. So make it simple so everybody understands what you're doing and people can repeat it. If people repeat what you're doing, will they get exactly the same result? If the answer is yes, then you're following a system. Why this book is full of moves and like really good moves that if you apply them, it will take you to the next level, be it in business, be it in relationship or anything you're doing whatsoever. If I have to give you a bonus move, that would be the move of being urgent. We have an African adage that says that if you're urgent, you avoid some accidents. You walk past accidents. Okay? So everything we talk about here is nice, but imagine if you read this book and you say, okay, I'm going to start all this next 5 years or next 10 years. You're going to still be where you are. But urgency is that move that if you inculcate it in every aspect of whatever you do, not even the sky is going to be your limit. It's going to just be your beginning, your starting point. Because the person that's urgent, urgency beats skill all day. Someone might be skilled at doing something, but they don't really do it. For example, I do have my RN license. I haven't worked with it for 4 years. I still know how to be an RN, but it hasn't made me any money. But get another person that just literally got their license last month or last year, but they're working with it, they're going to make more income with it, right? So to get to the next level, apply this mode, this every single move we talked about here, the 5 moves, apply them urgently. To you, maybe one is going to be before the other. And I'd like you also to, as we wrap this up, drop me on a comment below which one is the move that actually speak to you most. Which one is your favorite move among all of them? Okay? And why? And if you have a story of how you've been urgent or how you've been strategic or how you've built a team and because of that you grew a business or just any of or just how you got clarity of who you are and why you're here on earth and how that actually has impacted your growth. Share it here so that all other of our audiences would read and learn from it. Who should be reading this book? I think every single person will benefit from this book. Whether you're stay-at-home mom, a homemaker, whether you're a medical doctor, lawyer, or other professionals, whether you're a business owner, an entrepreneur like myself that you want to go make a name for your family and go create generational wealth, whether you're a C-suite executive, whether you're a CEO of a huge company, every single person needs to know their next 5 moves. Have you ever read the book, Your Next 5 Moves? Comment your takeaway below so that other people will benefit from it. At the end of the day, success is not just about making money. It's about planning ahead also. It's about building an empire. It's about building that relationship that takes you to the next level.